Welcome to the LA Business Podcast, your destination to hear stories of how businesses grow and scale. I'm Robert Brill, CEO of Brill Media and the host of this podcast. Now, let's jump right into this week's interview. Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the LA Business Podcast. Today, our guests are Ivan Bortnikov and Olga Bortnikova, co-founders of YouTravel.me. YouTravel.me is an algorithm-powered online marketplace for booking multi-day small group adventure tours organized by travel experts. Tell us a little bit about your growth. You've been running this company since 2018. Tell us a little bit about what it is and how you've grown it and where it started.
Yep, sure. Hi, everyone. First of all, Robert, thanks for having us here today. And yeah, we're happy to tell about YouTravel.me. So as you've just mentioned, we're building a marketplace for small group tours around the world with independent guides. So we really believe that group touring is a little bit outdated, and group tours can be same interesting as trip with old friends. So that's why we build a platform where we match people based on their interests, values, and so on for their joint experiences and for unbelievable trips in small groups. So we have started it in 2018, and now we have about 200,000 monthly users on our platform. We have started originally in the Eastern Europe and Russia, and after the pandemic, after we have survived, we are now also expanding to the US market. That's why we're so amazed to be here today.
So how does tell okay, so the fundamental value proposition here is what? Adventure touring. Tell us about tell us what people are experiencing when they go on one of the tours, and then let's like backtrack it to how your platform makes it a better experience for the traveler.
Yeah, let me try to share about my vision about that. So first of all, we help people who don't have time on travel preparations. They don't have hours to go to all these booking websites, find their hotels, guides, and so on. But more importantly, we help people who don't have travel companions to join them, because that's the problem of getting older. The older you become, the more difficult it is to find travel companions who want same destinations as you, who have the same travel budget as you, and so on. So that's why our solution is combining the best unusual tours around the world, which are already ready-made. So you just need to prepay to book them, and you can do it in one sitting, and the ready trip is I mean, you have it, and also you will have it with cool travel mates, so you don't need to bother on asking your friends to join you, trying to fit the vacation dates. So the people are already there, so you just join a small group in a cool company, and you just have an amazing experience. That's
And how
how it works,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah, I
so
want that about people travel because of people. So when you feel some like depression or sad, or maybe you have a lot of work and you don't know how to spend some holidays, you can join not just like some tour group, but you can join some really small group of 10 or 6 people who are on a mission of help some small community or animals, or just have adventure in some not usual direction, and you feel like traveling with the old friends that's anything else. So this feeling of community, this feeling of friendship is the most important in small group touring.
right, and one of the challenges, I got lucky. I'm married, and my wife is. We love to travel, and we have the same types of interests in mind. But we've both experienced that situation where we really want to do certain types of things, but either our friends can't take the time off, or they don't have the dough, or they want to there's some incompatibility. So this is almost like a way to swipe right, I guess. I all that dating, all the swipe left and swipe Tinder stuff happened right before, I'm sorry, right after I like met my wife, so I don't actually know how that works. But you swipe right and you can find the right people to have the right adventure for your interest. Is that fundamentally what's happening here? How does the algorithm play into that process?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's actually how I mean, your story really made me remember how we created this platform because back in 2018, we didn't have friends to join us in our trip to China. So we took two of our friends with us, and we just discovered that we have totally different travel styles. They like to have it like relaxed, staying on the beach all the day long, and we're like active guys who want hiking and so on. So it turned out that we don't have same travel interests, but we had to travel together. So we are good friends, but it doesn't mean we're good travel companions. So that's one of the problems we were trying to solve. So basically, now the algorithm is matching people based on their like how to say interests. We mean what you like. They see what it sees how the like what tours you're searching at the moment, which one you liked. You can also um, give more information about how introversive or extroversive you are, your age, your city, and so on. And you can see who is already joining the trip. So we really believe in human to human platforms. That's why you can see information about the guide, who's the travel expert, what he loves, what kind of people he wants to have in this trip. But also you can find information about other trip mates, where they're from and what they expect from the trip, like their previous experiences. And that's how the algorithm uses all this information to help you choose the most suitable trip.
So Ivan, you're the CMO and co-founder. Olga, you're the CEO and co-founder. How do you divide up the responsibilities within your organization? And I know as a startup, everyone wears every possible hat, but at least that's the way it's been in my organization, at least when we very first started. How do you divvy up responsibilities?
Yeah, actually, we have three co-founders. We have third co-founder. He's CTO, Chief Technical Officer. And in the beginning, we understood that I have experience in the same position in event management company. So I was CEO of event management company who that organize very big events for some international stuff. And Ivan has experience in sales and in marketing, so it was easy to understand. Okay, marketing is for you. Some operations and some sales stuff, it's for me. And our third co-founder, he was deputy CTO, is in some agency, some developer agency. And it was really easy because every of us have really deep experience in our own way. So
Mm-hmm.
when we launched You Travel, it was like, okay, you have this experience, it's for you.
Yeah, but now, I mean, Olga, she's more into strategy, all this
Mhm.
like visionary stuff and so on. And I'm more related into like daily operations, day by day conversion rates, bringing more users on the platform. And that's how it works.
Okay, so you started. So what were your focus countries when you started in 2018? And tell us about the expansion. And actually, before we even go into that, what I'm really interested to understand is, I'm looking at your site and you have like stuff happening, like a small group tour in the United States, Grand Canyon, Buckskin Gulch, which that sounds like really cool. Buckskin Gulch. Never been to a gulch. But like you have these events. So is a lot of your responsibility to connect with the actual provider locally and make sure that they're listed on the platform? Is that fundamentally what's happening here? Like you guys, like if I want to travel, you guys aren't planning my trip personally, right? Like tell us about how that part works.
Mhm.
Yeah, exactly. So we have gathered more than 3,000 travel experts all over the world who create multi-day trips in small groups, and we are basically a platform which connects travelers with these travel experts, and they craft all the experiences. These are local guides, these are professional travelers, some influencers. Maybe they are like thematical experts like yoga teachers or professional photographers and so on. So they create their unusual trips, unique trips around their own experience. And for example, if you're a yoga teacher, you create a yoga retreat for 5 days, and person just find this trip on the platform and can join. So this is how we work basically.
Yeah, that's really cool. So tell us about where you guys started and how you've like where you've expanded to. Obviously now I understand you're in the United States. Tell us about your the how strategically you made decisions about which countries to expand into. And then I want to understand. So let's talk about that first, and we'll talk about how you've accomplished that expansion.
Yeah, sure. That's a great question because we have started originally in 2018 in Russia, where we are from. We have started from these markets, but soon we realized that also Russian speakers from all over the world are interested. So in 2019, we were in former USSR countries, mostly like all of them. People from all of them were using our platform, and we have understood that also in the global market there is no similar product which is like which is connecting travelers with like people who organize small group tours, and I mean independent guides here, not the big classical tour operators. So we have started to work for the European market back in 2020. We went to Portugal to join one cool travel accelerator for international travel startups, and started our first expansion in Germany and some other European countries. And what happened? There was a pandemic, which have started right after we did our first, we got our first users there. So our first international expansion was totally failed. We returned back to Russia last year to save our business, to save our startup and current markets. And since then, we have managed to grow even during the pandemic twice last year. So we realized that now the US market is developing with the same patterns which happened last year in our previous markets. So because the country is huge and it's so diverse in terms of the activities and
Sure.
places and national parks and all of that. So we have understood that now this is the right market to grow, and we have started from March to work here, and now already 4 or 5% of our customers are in the US, and we are really growing fast here. And of course, all the pandemic, I mean, the situations with the restrictions which have lifted up recently is booming travel industry here, and it's helping us also to grow much faster than we did in the previous markets.
So
Yeah.
Olga,
Uh-huh.
go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I wanted to say that it would be difficult to argue that leisure travel is at the center of this pandemic crisis. And according to the World Tourism Organization, international travel fell by 80%. And we had doubled in revenue. And how we did it? In the first, I think, first week, we just sitting we were sitting in home and thought, oh my God, what it will be? Oh my God, what will be with our team, with our customers? It's about a lot of refunds. And
Sure.
then we understood that okay, we if we will just sitting on the sofa and it will be unhelpful. So we understood, okay, we need to do something, and we understood that, okay, we have a very big community of travel experts. We have more than 3,000 travel experts all over the world. So they feel really lonely because it's not a very big tour operator, a lot of big team, and this really person is in Africa, in Russia, in the US market, and they really feel lonely. And we understood, okay, we need to help them. We didn't think about money first. We thought about how can we help our travel experts to break through this pandemic crisis, and what we can do. And we understood that, okay, we can launch the course, this some I think 10 or 12 webinars for
Mhm.
from our top travel experts on our platform, and we ask them to tell travel experts how to go through the pandemic and how to go through crisis, what we can
Mhm.
do, and how to start some new business when you get fired from some travel companies. And we launched it, and we understood that there is the unique information, and there is no such information in the world, because no one works with travel expert directly. Somebody works with guides who work with with tour operators. Somebody works with some how to build a tour company. But for travel experts, who for independent guides, there is no information, and we launched this information. And for now, really, people, we have more than 100 hours on this platform of webinars, and there is a lot of information for them, and
So tell us, I'm sorry,
they
Olga, tell us
help
about
us.
the webinar. Tell us about that webinar. So was your idea in like March or April of 2020 to connect the
Mm.
various tour operators that you know across the world? And what types of information were you sharing with them?
Yeah, it was webinars about how to launch new business if you want to work in travel industry, and what you need to do if you want to to be alive through, and go through this
To
pandemic.
survive,
It's
right.
about survive. Yeah, correct. And it's about financial model, how to finance all your debts, how to work with refunds, and how to work with clients, and what you need to do if you want to launch this travel business, and what you need to do if you want to involve people in your idea. And we collect 10 people, 10 top travel experts from our platform, and we ask them how did they launched, and how did they walk through this pandemic, and how they really survived during the COVID. And they answer on our question. We involve lawyers, we involve accountants, we involve different other people, and in different directions. So they understood. They have uh, big course for how to be a travel expert. So it helped us to survive during this uh, really heavy time during the COVID. And it was our first hypothesis. And second was, we need to launch internal tourism.
Yeah,
So
like domestic
we,
one.
yeah, domestic, yeah. And we launch this we start to telling to our travel experts, our globally travel experts community, how to launch different directions, how to, if you live, for example, in Russia, how to launch tours in Russia. If you live in some different country, how to launch this domestic travel. And we start working with it, and scale our supply, I think 40 times, x40, and it works also. So these two hypotheses help us to
So the
survive.
So that's really interesting. So a lot of the time you spent last year was to really connect with the supply part of your business to
Mhm.
ensure that when the world economy reopens, you really have a way to quickly activate and have some payoff on the interest of people who want to travel, rather than doing something different. And next thing you know, you can't even supply the travel that people want to do.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, you're right. We really understood that our travel experts, our suppliers are the biggest asset we have, because these are the guys like who bring the customers with their unique product. They are the creators basically of the product. So we need to develop them. We need to help them overcome this crisis. That's why we're really focused on them, and that's why we have basically, I think, the biggest database of active independent guides for multi-day tours on one platform. That's why also customers come to use our product and platform.
So
Mm.
so when you're creating the webinar, how did you, or the webinar series, what did you how did you deal with the language barrier? Like how, like what languages did you create the webinar in? Like that seems like a
Yeah,
big challenge.
correct.
Yeah.
So we have created them in Russian and English languages. So as Russian is our like local, I mean native language, so we didn't have problems with that. But with the English language, the biggest issue, I mean the biggest solution is basically not to, I mean to attract English speaking travel
Mhm.
guides, tour guides who don't have this barrier. So that's basically how we did it. We tried not to be involved personally on the early stages,
Mhm.
and that's how we mostly solved it.
So what type of, when you're looking at marketing in the US, well, let's actually first start with Russia. Like what were the key channels in Russia to grow your business, and then how does that look in the United States?
Yeah, that's a great question because we see lots of similarities, but also at the same time, lots of differences in the market channel. So when we started in the Eastern Europe and Russia, the biggest challenge, the biggest channels for us were first of all the search engines, paid ads, and also SEO. And secondly, the community marketing. So we have created our own communities of travelers in social media like in Instagram, and also in some messengers which are popular in this markets. For example, Telegram is a very popular one there. So this is how these two channels, to groups of channels basically have helped us to boost like viral effect and to boost some network effect, so the users they interact with each other in communities, and so on.
How are you
Here in the
using,
US, yeah,
sorry,
sorry.
in Russia and in Europe, how are you using Telegram? What are you doing with Telegram?
Oh, we have our own channel there where we're posting the best offers. We're posting their stories of our travel experts, how they have, I don't know, became this type of travelers or digital nomads, and also, so we're talking about small group tours. That's why people tend to try to unite based on their interests, where they want to go in some small groups. So we were boosting it with some events, like events about the dream destinations they have, like live broadcasts about some country or some, I don't know, hiking or climbing to some mountain. So that's basically what we try to do in these messengers,
And how are,
to
so
connect.
Ivan, how are people
Yeah.
finding your Telegram channel?
Oh, yeah, sure. So we are making some promotions in other communities in Telegram. So some of them paid, some of them are like cross promotion. This is a very cool and working mechanics in Telegram when. For free, you find some channel which is similar to your one in terms of followers, and you just understand that probably the audience is similar, so you just make this cross promotion, and it
Sure.
works really great in Telegram. I don't know any other social network which has it working so well as in Telegram. So this is basically how we do it.
It's interesting. I think there's a lot, like, I associate Telegram with the crypto community because that's kind of like just how I
Yeah.
use Telegram, and I also think about it as a way to keep in touch with my friends or family that might be in Europe. And so, I guess the question really is, do you think Telegram is a viable marketing solution for you in the United States, or do you think the solution that the channels are different in the United States?
So totally different, the channels, I mean, here versus Russia and Eastern Europe. But I believe that this can be a like growth hacking channel here, because like competing in Facebook is really, really expensive in the US, but competing in Telegram could be really cheap, because it's really, I mean, not many advertisers there, so it can be an opportunity for a startup like ours, or for any other startup, to get the first users really in a cheap way, than just like paying thousands of dollars to Facebook and like Google.
So Telegram at this point is, I don't believe there are ads on Telegram, right? Or they might be in beta, or they're coming, right? It's all organic content posting and being, I guess, respectful to the channel owners and not stepping on their feet, right? Like, that's fundamentally what it is. There's no ads.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you're totally right. There is no ads in Telegram, so the only thing you can do is to buy some ads in other Telegram channels, in other Telegram communities, or trying to bring the audience outside of Telegram in your channel. So
Very
that's
cool.
basically the best working mechanics there.
So, how do you, as we wrap up here, how do you scale this business over the next 12 to 18 months into middle of 2022 into 2023? What are the key initiatives that you focus on to make this business grow?
Yeah, sure. So, first of all, we really believe that the referral program can boost the business here, because the product is new, and we already see how our customers react when they find it. They try to bring their own friends and family to use it. So we will put our like efforts on boosting our referral program to grant our users some really generous bonuses. And we see that it's also really working well in the US. As we have a really good expertise in paid channels, we will also continue working with these paid channels. I mean, like Google Ads and all this stuff. But also, I see that travel companies have some really good results in some more unusual channels that we are also trying to work at now. For example, Pinterest, I think, is a great media or social network for travel industry. So this type of channels are really something really perspective for us. So we are trying to get hundreds of users and thousands of users from all these channels in the next 12 to 18 months. So we already have 10,000 monthly users on the platform who come to our platform. They search for some tours around the US and in other countries. So we need to boost this up to 200K or even more in the next like 12 to 18 months with these channels.
Yeah, and about the channels, we are truly hustlers, and we are worked through the pandemic because we are work hard. And there is one secret that I think everybody needs to know, that you need to be ready for routine work on hypothesis testing and different channels, different hypotheses, different segments of clients. It's really work. You just do it every day, and maybe for us this Pinterest will works, maybe not, we don't know exactly, but we will test it, and as we test a lot of other hypotheses within other channels.
Olga, I love that because we're a marketing and advertising firm, and testing hypotheses is everything that we do, and we use the data, day to day, day to week, month, year, to really understand who the audience is, what their interests are, which creative performs the best, which products to offer. I mean, we see that with the largest brands in the world. We see that with the clients that we serve. How can so tell us just briefly, how can people find you, and if they want to travel with you or through your platform?
Yeah, so our website is YouTravel.me, and we're also in social media like in Instagram or in Facebook, basically with the same, with the same name, YouTravel.me tours. So that's how you can find us there and find your trip in just one city.
Olga
Now,
Bortnikova,
yeah,
Ivan
sorry.
Bortnikov, co-founders of YouTravel.me. Thanks for being on the show today.
Thanks for having us,
Thank